He walked into the small-town diner like any ordinary traveler-worn jacket, no flashy watch, no hint of the fortune he carried in hidden bank accounts. To the staff, he looked like just another tired customer. But this man was no ordinary guest. He was an undercover millionaire, quietly searching for something money could never buy: honesty, kindness, and truth. Sliding into a booth, he ordered a simple steak, his eyes scanning the room with quiet intensity. The waitress approached with a practiced smile, jotting down his order. To her, he was just another face. But when she returned with his plate, she placed more than food on the table. A folded note slipped discreetly under his napkin. One glance at the words scrawled across that piece of paper, and the millionaire's heart stopped cold. His secret wasn't safe anymore, and neither was hers. The bell above the diner door jingled, announcing his arrival. No one turned their head. Why would they? To the locals, he looked like a drifter. Faded jeans, scuffed boots, a leather jacket that had seen better days. But under the rugged disguise was Ethan Colwyn, of the wealthiest CEOs in the country. Living under the radar for reasons only he knew, Ethan had grown tired of polished boardrooms, hollow compliments, and false friendships bought with his money. He wanted to feel unseen, unimportant. So, in small towns across the country, he lived as just another man. That night, the neon sign of Maggie's Diner called to him like a quiet refuge. He pushed the door open, inhaling the scent of grilled steak and strong coffee. The place was nearly empty. An old couple in the corner, a trucker nursing black coffee at the counter, and then there was her, the waitress. She was young, maybe late 20s, with tired eyes that carried both exhaustion and determination. Her name tag read Lily. She approached with a practiced smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. "Evening," she said, flipping open her pad. "What'll it be?" "Steak," Ethan answered simply. "Medium rare, and coffee." She nodded, scribbling quickly, before turning back toward the kitchen. Ethan watched her go, something about her pace tugging at him. It wasn't just work, she was carrying a weight. He could see it in the way her shoulders slumped once she thought no one was looking. Minutes later, she returned with steaming coffee, setting it in front of him. "Steak'll be out soon." "Thanks," Ethan murmured. She hesitated a moment, too long, as though wanting to say something but biting it back. Finally, she walked away. When she came back with his plate, her hands shook slightly. She set down the steak and slid a folded piece of paper beneath the napkin, her eyes flicking up to meet his just for a second, pleading, desperate, before she turned and walked away. Ethan froze. He'd lived long enough to know when something was more than it seemed. Slowly, he unfolded the note. The words were scrawled in hurried handwriting. "He's watching me. Please don't let him see this." Ethan's pulse quickened. He looked up, scanning the diner. Who was he? The old couple? The trucker? Or someone outside, lurking in the shadows? For the first time in years, Ethan wasn't the one in control. His cover might protect him, but now it also pulled him into someone else's danger. He glanced at Lily. She avoided his eyes, but her trembling hands as she refilled another table's coffee told him everything. She was afraid. Ethan picked up his fork, pretending to eat, but his mind was already racing. He had come here seeking escape from his own life. Instead, he'd just stepped into hers, and whatever secret Lily carried, it was big enough to make even an undercover millionaire stop cold. Ethan kept his eyes on the plate, though his mind burned with questions. He slipped the note into his pocket just as the trucker at the counter turned slightly, his gaze lingering on Lily longer than necessary. Ethan didn't move, but he noticed everything: the tense way Lily avoided that man's eyes, the way her hands trembled each time she passed near him. That's him, Ethan thought. When Lily returned to his booth, he spoke low, his words hidden beneath the clink of cutlery. "Who is he?" Her smile didn't falter, but her voice shook. Not here." He nodded once, understanding. She walked away, leaving Ethan with his thoughts. He had lived his life in boardrooms and billion-dollar negotiations, but fear the kind etched into Lily's eyes was something money couldn't erase. Minutes stretched. The trucker paid his bill and stepped outside, glancing through the window before disappearing into the night. Only then did Lily approach Ethan's booth again. Her lips barely moved. "Please, stay until I close. I can't go out there alone." Ethan's jaw tightened. "I'll stay." The truth: after midnight, the diner emptied. Lily wiped down tables mechanically, though her hands shook. Finally, she sank into the booth across from Ethan, her guard lowering for the first time. "That man," she whispered, "his name is Carl. My ex. He used to hurt me. When I left him, he swore he'd never let me live in peace. Tonight was the first time he's followed me here. I didn't know what else to do." Ethan's chest tightened. He saw in her eyes, not just fear, but look of someone who had been fighting alone for too long. "You did the right thing," Ethan said firmly. "You're not alone anymore." Lily gave a bitter laugh. "Easy for you to say. You don't know what it's like to have nothing." Ethan leaned forward, his voice steady. "You'd be surprised what I know." For a second, she searched his eyes, as if sensing he carried secrets of his own. The intervention, the bell above the door jingled again. Carl stepped back inside. His heavy boots echoed against the tiled floor as he stalked toward Lily. "You think you can run?" His voice was low, dangerous. "Think you can hide from me?" Lily froze. Ethan stood, his presence towering, though he said nothing at first. Carl sneered at him. "Who the hell are you? Stay out of this." Ethan's calm never wavered. "She asked me to stay. And I don't take kindly to men who threaten women." Carl laughed. "What are you, some broke drifter?" Ethan's lips curved into the faintest smile. "Something like that." Before Carl could lunge, Ethan moved swift, controlled. A single step forward, his voice sharp as steel. "Leave, now or you'll regret it." Carl hesitated, but something in Ethan's eyes unyielding, powerful made him falter. Muttering under his breath, he stormed out into the night. Lily collapsed into the booth, shaking. "He'll be back. He always comes back." Ethan placed a reassuring hand on the table. "Not this time." The reveal the next morning, Lily awoke to a knock on her apartment door. When she opened it, Ethan stood there, not in worn jeans and a leather jacket, but in a tailored suit, his presence commanding. Her eyes widened. You're not who you thought," Ethan finished. He stepped inside, handing her an envelope. Inside were legal papers, restraining orders, lawyer contacts, even funds to move if she needed. Tears filled Lily's eyes. "Why are you doing this?" Ethan's voice softened. "Because I've spent years hiding behind money, pretending it mattered. Last night reminded me what truly matters: safety, dignity, a chance to live free." She sank into a chair, overwhelmed. "You're rich, richer than I'll ever need to be," he admitted. "But it means nothing if I can't use it to help." For the first time, Lily smiled, not the forced smile she wore at the diner, but one filled with relief. "You saved me," she whispered. Ethan shook his head gently. "No, you saved yourself. I just made sure he couldn't take that from you." The ending weeks later, Lily no longer looked over her shoulder at every sound. Carl had disappeared, legally restrained, financially blocked, powerless. With Ethan's help, she began to rebuild her life, not as a victim, but as a survivor. And Ethan, he found something he hadn't been searching for but desperately needed: purpose. Sometimes, the greatest fortune wasn't in hidden accounts or boardroom deals. It was in helping someone find freedom again. Ethan had walked into that diner looking for a meal. Instead, he found a note that changed everything, and for the first time in years, the undercover millionaire felt truly human. One folded note. That's all it took to change everything. The undercover millionaire thought he was passing through a small town unnoticed, but destiny had other plans. Behind a waitress's smile hid years of fear, and in her quiet act of bravery, he found a purpose no fortune could buy. This story is a reminder that true wealth isn't measured in dollars or possessions, it's measured in courage, kindness, and the lives we touch when it matters most. Ethan had money to protect his identity, but it was his heart that gave Lily back her freedom. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to be reminded of hope and second chances. And don't forget, every small act of courage can change a life. Subscribe for more powerful stories where ordinary moments reveal extraordinary truths.